It was through his faith that Noah, on receiving Elohim's warning of an impending disaster, reverently constructed an ark to save his household. Okay, so we see here that Noah was warned about the impending disaster. And so we too are warned in the last days that the world is heading for disaster. So Israel in the last days, we hear the warning. And the Most High always warns. And he lets us know what is going to happen. And then he says, and then they will know that I am Yahweh, because what has happened, what he has said will happen, will come to pass. He told Noah, and Noah acted in faith. He built the ark for the saving of his household. This action of faith was a witness to the lack of faith of the rest of the world. So he was a testimony. His life was a testimony of the Most High's promise, and no one believed. But Noah was seen as righteous before the Most High because he was a man of faith. So faith is similar in all times. You know, faith in the early days of time, it's similar now. Our course of action, our course of action proves our faith. So by our actions and by the road that we choose, this proves our faith. And so it's the same for Noah. It's the same for us now. It was by faith that Abraham obeyed the summons to go out to a place which he would eventually possess, and he set out in complete ignorance of his destination. He set out without knowing where he was to go, as it is in Genesis 12. The Most High called him out from his father's house. It was faith that kept him journeying like a foreigner throughout the land, or in the land of promise, even though he was in the promised land, the land of Canaan, which really typified the whole earth. It was his faith with no more homes and tents. He lived in a tent, and he shared tents with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, heirs with him of the same promise. Why didn't they build a city? Because Abraham's eyes were looking forward to a city with solid foundations, of which Elohim himself is both architect and builder. So Abraham lived his life as a lesson of faith, and he lived in temporary dwellings, tents. He never made his home in this world. So we understand that we're not to make home in this world in a system of confusion that will go down. And so after the system goes down, then the human race will experience blessings. And Abraham was willing to wait for that day. Abraham will be here along with the ancient prophets to lead Israel in these last days. Read for yourself in the book of Luke 13:28. And there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, and you yourselves thrust out. People from the north, the south, the east, and the west will come and sit down and dine and recline with these ancient prophets. So, Shalom Aleichem, one love.